in the shade? Well, this is it. If you're going to be a big fish in a little pond, Waco is as good a place as any. And Michael Johnson is pretty big. He's the only runner in history to be ranked #1 in the world in the 200 and 400 meters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's got to be the guy to beat. I don't know who else is out there that can beat him.
Mighty Michael justified those rankings earlier this summer in New York when he blew away a class field in the 200 meters at the national championships. Three weeks ago, he was pressed for the first time in the 200, but he still won. He has not lost at this distance this summer, and the same holds true for the 400 meters. What makes this so amazing is the difference between the two events. The 200 is for sprinters. The 400 requires endurance. And Michael Johnson has a unique blend of both.
I'll be remembered as someone who made a mark, someone who may possibly have started something new, because I think you're going to see more people trying that double now. So that makes me feel good, and it makes me strive to do other things, more things that haven't been done before, and to get into other areas that no one ever ventured into before.
But one area Johnson is not going to venture into is the 4x400 relay team here in Tokyo. U.S. policy is keeping Johnson off the team because he did not compete in the 400 at the national championships. Johnson didn't run the 400 because even if he qualified, he would not have been able to run due to a scheduling conflict with the 200 meters here in Tokyo. Critics point to this year's World Indoor Championships when they talk about how vital Johnson, with the world's fastest time at 44.17 this year, is to the American 4x400 team. The U.S. was beaten by a German team that set a new world's record in the process. Keep in mind that this is an event that the U.S. has historically dominated.
I'm not so naive to think that, if I feel that without him we're not going to win, then I would put him in. But if I felt that we could win very well without him, then I wouldn't put him in.
You're going to have 4 guys on the 4x4 that just ran 3 rounds of the quarter. You're going to have me, one of the best 400-meter runners in the world, if not the best, sitting over there who's only run 3 rounds of a 200 and ran them before the guys who ran the 400. So who's going to be fresh? I am, but it's not going to do any good because I'm going to be sitting over in the stands watching those other 4 guys.
Well, he's not watching anything now except those starting blocks and the finish line when it comes up in the straightaway. He's won 23 straight 200 finals. There are the lane assignments. Keep your eye on Fredericks of Namibia in lane 4, the NCAA champion from Brigham Young, and in 5, Mahorn of Canada, 2-time All-American at Cal Berkeley. But this man is the favorite. Many expect a world record.
He actually drew the worst lane of the 4 fastest qualifiers, lane 3.
And he is in lane 3. Michael Johnson running off the turn into the home stretch. Michael Johnson with Frank Fredericks alongside and Mahorn, but Michael Johnson now begins to pull away. Johnson is in front. Johnson with Fredericks coming for the finish. Michael Johnson, 20.01. Michael Johnson running into a 3-meter headwind, which probably prevented him from setting a world record.
Yeah, he really ran a great turn. Of course, that's what he does. Most of his critics will talk about his running style. Well, it's based on his anatomical makeup. He has short arms and short legs. He doesn't have the long legs of Carl Lewis, so you're not going to see a lot of high knee action. He runs an excellent turn. Amazingly that he has the speed to run this distance. Being the 400 man that he is, I expect next year, Olympic year, for him to run the 400. That will assure him a place on the 4x400 relay.
But you can see that 400 training kick in about here as he separates from the field. Plenty of stamina for him, huh?
Yeah, much too strong for these guys. I was a little concerned for him because Atlee Mahorn was running so well before, and he was out in lane 6. It wasn't the greatest lane to get if you're trying to run for a world record. You like to be out in lane of 4, 5, or 6. 5 or 6 preferably.
Michael Johnson, prevented by a 7+ mile-an-hour headwind of setting a world record, still records a world championship mark of 20.01. Frederick second and Mahorn third. Right now, Todd Christensen has Michael Johnson. Todd?
Well, you know, Tom, I'm sure he would have liked to have had.
Now may be fading.